UFO sightings can happen anywhere, over land, over water, at night or day, in the open countryside where the populations are sparse, or over cities with buildings that reach ever more upward to the cosmic heavens. Any of these places can become the stage for an encounter with the unexplained. However, and perhaps for good reason if you subscribe to the theories of alien bases hiding within them, many mountains and their cave systems seem to be magnets for such activity. Here are 10 examples of mountains and caves from around the world that have long histories of UFO and extraterrestrial activity. The hidden people of Snæfellsjökull, Iceland. The Huldufólk, or the hidden people, have been present in Icelandic folklore for centuries, certainly long before the UFO craze of the last 70+ years. Many UFO researchers have put forth the notion that these legends may have been based on ancient alien sightings in the distant past. Furthermore, Iceland, and in particular the Snæfellsjökull glacier, are considered important UFO hotspots. Descriptions of the Huldufólk state them to be humanoid but with an elf-like appearance to them. As you might expect, some UFO enthusiasts have attempted to assert that the Huldufólk are actually gray aliens, and the mountains they call home are actually some kind of alien base. Make of those claims what you will. Regardless of their true identity, cosmic or otherwise, their presence is more than respected by Icelandic people, who often leave food and other gifts around the base of the mountains where legend states they inhabit. Some construction projects have even been altered so as to avoid encroaching on the Huldufólk's land. Glastonbury Mountain, Vermont. The area around Glastonbury Mountain, part of the Bennington Triangle, has been subject to mysterious disappearances for centuries. One spate of vanishings in particular occurred between 1945 and 1950 when 6 people on 6 separate occasions disappeared without a trace. Some UFO researchers who have spoken to locals believe the disappearances are likely alien abductions. They point to the number of sightings of strange lights in the sky around the area as partial proof of their theories. Interestingly, some Native American cultures indigenous to the area maintain that the land is cursed and speak of a stone that swallows anything that steps on it. Whether this is an interpretation of a craft, possibly dull, gray, and saucer-shaped, like a stone, abducting a person is up for debate. The area is also rife with Bigfoot sightings, which persist even today. This is interesting to UFO researchers, as many UFO hotspots have also proved to be hotspots for the legendary Bigfoot creature. Some UFO researchers have even suggested a direct connection between the two. Upside-down mountain, Bugarak, France. A strange and mysterious mountain overlooks the small town of Bugarak in France. Pic de Bugarak is known as the upside-down mountain due to the strange fact that the upper layers of the mountain are older, by millions of years, than the layers below them. Theories seem to suggest an explosion of some kind in the distant past essentially caused the mountain to flip over, exposing the oldest layers of the mountain. Many UFO enthusiasts and ancient astronaut theorists agree with the explosion theory, but some contend it was an intentional rather than a natural occurrence and point to the flat top of the mountain as proof that it was once a landing site for ancient alien craft. The mountain was also the focus of UFO researchers and doomsday types in the build-up to December 21, 2012, when the end of the world was believed, by some, to be about to happen. Many such people even went as far as buying land and properties in the immediate vicinity around the mountain so as to guarantee their presence should anything occur. Of course it didn't, but the UFO sightings and strange lights still continue to be reported, and rumors of alien bases within the mountain's cave systems continue. Alien ship in the cave systems of Antarctica. Antarctica is awash with tales of aliens beneath the ice, UFO sightings, and all manner of other bizarre conspiracies. However, in January 2017, UFO enthusiasts claimed to have spotted an alien ship near one of the many ancient cave systems. Half of what would appear to be a flying saucer can clearly be seen sticking out from a cave mouth. Claims swirled around social media as to the potential specifics behind the alleged find. Some wondered if the craft had crash-landed into the ice, while others theorized that the saucer was the remains of top-secret Nazi UFO technology. The sighting came off the back of other such recent claims, including those of apparent pyramid-like structures spotted in a similar way using Google Earth. There have also been several claims from people who say they have discovered secret entrances to some kind of base or entrance to the inner Earth that conspiracies also state exists there. Alien base at Mount Adams, Washington. In summer 2017, while attending the Enlightened Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence (ECIT) conference in the state of Washington, several UFO enthusiasts claimed to have seen a large opening near the top of Mount Adams. Furthermore, many of those who witnessed the apparent doorway claimed it was clear evidence of an alien base being present inside the mountain, which has a long history of UFO sightings. Perhaps there is the possibility that those claims have more to them than just outlandish ravings. One of the first UFO sightings of the contemporary era, the 1947 Keith Arnold incident, occurred in the region. After Arnold claimed to have seen 9 UFOs flying at thousands of miles per hour, he stated they disappeared when they came to Mount Adams. If Arnold's account is correct, then might the claims of the attendees of the ECD conference also be correct, and the dormant volcano actually houses a legion of alien ships and beings, the ominous slabs of Black Mountain, Australia. Formed as a result of solidifying magma over 200 million years ago and featuring hundreds of huge and menacing granite-type blocks, Black Mountain overlooks a strange and mysterious part of Queensland, Australia. Native Aborigine tribes refer to the mountain as Kalkajaka, which translates ominously to Mountain of Death, and it is their belief that evil spirits reside within the ancient, rocky ruins. These spirits, their legends say, seek out humans to ravage both their soul and their flesh. There have even been sightings of humanoid beings whose descriptions are remarkably similar to alleged reptilian creatures, a well-known being in the UFO and conspiracy communities. Pilots have also made reports of strange phenomena while flying over this dark mountain, ranging from strange lights in the sky to malfunctioning navigation equipment. And just to add another bizarre twist to an already strange affair, many people have simply vanished into thin air here. Those who relate the strange lights to UFO activity will tell you that these disappearances are alien abductions. The caves of Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta sits proudly overlooking all around it in Northern California and has done so, at least according to various Native American tribes of the area, since the beginning of time. Their own legends state it to be the point of creation. In contemporary times, the area is a UFO hotspot. Regular sightings are reported, and several pieces of footage have made their way online, claiming to show strange cosmic craft vanishing into some kind of portal in the skies of the mountain. There are also equally regular sightings of strange creatures with glowing red eyes that lurk in the cave systems around the vast base and woodlands of the mountain. One particular story from recent times was that of a 3-year-old boy who went missing for 5 hours while camping with his grandparents. He was eventually found safe and well. However, he would tell a strange and unsettling tale shortly after the incident. He claimed that a robot grandma had taken him into the caves and into a room full of guns and spiders. Furthermore, the robot grandma claimed that he had been placed into his mother's womb by beings from outer space. Surely the confused and scared memories of a small child following a traumatic experience, right? Or might the fact that the grandma herself had her own chilling experience involving strange spider-like bite marks discovered on the neck, as well as intense dreams of being watched by some strange, red-eyed creature, confirm the young boy's claims? Base at Mount Hayes, Alaska. According to Pat Price, deep within the bowels of Mount Hayes in Alaska lies an alien base. The objective of the aliens that reside there is to use thought transfer in an attempt to control humanity. Even more concerning, if you subscribe to his claims, these extraterrestrials, outwardly at least, look exactly like humans and can walk about among humanity undetected. It should be noted that Price arrived at his conclusion through remote viewing, a very debatable ability to say the least, and because of this, even the most open-minded UFO enthusiasts have a hard time believing his claims. That being said, there are plenty of UFO sightings in the skies over Mount Hayes. Further to that, many pilots report strange anomalies with their navigation equipment when in Alaskan airspace, particularly in the immediate vicinity of Mount Hayes. The occurrences were common enough that in the 1950s, the FBI even conducted serious and well-funded investigations into what the cause of such anomalies might be. The Broadhaven Triangle of the Welsh Mountains. There are several apparent UFO hotspots throughout the United Kingdom. Perhaps one of the most active is the mountains and valleys of Wales, which see regular UFO sightings and have done for many years. A mountainous area in the southwest of the country, known as the Broadhaven Triangle, has a long history of UFO activity. One particular rash of sightings occurred in 1977, with coverage so widespread that the Ministry of Defense even saw fit to investigate the activity in the area. However, these investigations were not made public for decades and were even kept from the country's political establishment. Such was the secrecy involved. Perhaps the most famous of these sightings was the Broadhaven school incident, when numerous schoolchildren all reported seeing a disc-like craft landing in a field near their school. A humanoid figure then stepped from the craft for several minutes before climbing back aboard. The craft then took off and vanished over the trees, heading for the Welsh Mountains, the Superstition Mountains, Arizona. The valleys around the Superstition Mountains in Arizona are popular with hikers. They are also popular, if you believe the reports, with reptilian humanoid creatures that like to abduct people and take them into their base deep within the mountains. One particular account, that of a woman known in the report only as Angie, is particularly bizarre and harrowing. While enjoying a walk around the valleys, something she did regularly, Angie was suddenly confronted by a person in a strange mask trying to scare her. It was only when she realized the mask was actually a real face, and the person was some kind of strange reptile-like creature, that the fright turned to absolute terror, and she blacked out. The next thing she realized, she was sitting behind the wheel of her car, driving it toward her home, with no memory as to what happened. She would spend the next several days locked away in her apartment, scared and confused. It was only when she sought help through hypnotic regression did the encounter come back to her. She had come to in a strange cavern inside the mountain. She was surrounded by several of the reptilian creatures. She was on a table in the middle of the room, naked and tied down. As one of the beastly beings approached her, she blacked out again. Although the regression did not reveal it, Angie believed she was raped by the creature before being brought back to her car.